Hey everyone, and welcome to Top Think. Today we're going to learn about 10 signs you're a lonely genius. Now, let's begin. Number 1, social passivity. Many hyper-intelligent people struggle to socialize. They want to be social, but their brains are jam-packed with creative, analytical, and abstract ideas. These overwhelming thoughts impede their ability to socialize, so they never learn how. Introverted prodigies are often inexperienced and misunderstood in the social world, but they know they're socially awkward, so they compensate with social passivity. Well, just take this situation. You see a stranger who's wearing the same shirt as you. Do you start a conversation with them, or do you hover nearby, waiting for them to approach you? The first is called social activity. You're taking the initiative. You're starting the conversation, but introverted geniuses do just the opposite. They're not confident in their social skills, so they wait for other people to approach them. They take the passive approach. Unfortunately, social passivity doesn't get you very far. You won't meet many people unless you take an active role in your social life. But many geniuses don't, so they end up feeling lonely. Now, not all passive people are geniuses, but many lonely geniuses are passive people. Number 2, playing too long. All right, let's say you're an amazing guitarist, one of the best in the world. Millions of people listen to you play. But what happens when you play for too long? Well, it doesn't matter how talented you are, people are going to lose interest. Geniuses experience the same issue, especially if they're extroverted. These prodigies are naturally social. They love to meet new people and to form new bonds, yet they feel lonely on a regular basis. Why is that? Because they don't know when to stop. Just imagine you're at a restaurant with a group of new friends. You're excited to make a good first impression, so you share a story or two. You capture the attention of everyone at the table, but instead of stopping, you just keep talking. You ramble on for 20 minutes, rattling off story after story. Your new friends were interested at first, but now they're just bored and irritated. Hey, it doesn't matter how educated or interesting you are, you overdid it. Extroverted geniuses share too much too often. They want to express all the interesting ideas that are packed into their heads, but they don't know when to hold themselves back. If you know someone who tells long intellectual stories, well, they may be a lonely genius. Number 3, understanding shortcomings. Not every genius is an intellectual powerhouse. Some are keen observers of human behavior. They read other people. They're experts in social cues and body language. These geniuses can unravel complex social phenomena. They identify personal biases and psychological paradoxes. They notice key trends and patterns in our society. Their insights are profound, but these geniuses are often lonely. Why is that? Social intelligence is a double-edged sword. They notice interesting patterns and biases, but they also have a hard time making friends. They treat other people like subjects to be studied. They're not relating to you, they're not bonding with you, they're analyzing you, and that can be isolating. To make matters worse, social geniuses are largely pessimistic. They understand how the world works, so they clearly see the mistakes and shortcomings in our behavior. They're drawn to all the things we, as human beings, do wrong, and once they understand those failures, it's hard to overlook them. Number 4, resource-driven friendships. Geniuses may struggle to make genuine friendships. They may have friends, but those friends may stick around for the wrong reasons. These friends don't care about you personally, they're only after your talents. They know that you're a gifted individual with amazing potential, so they cling to you, hoping to leech off of your success. The problem is, many geniuses cling to these bad friends. You may be accustomed to shallow friendships. In your mind, it's normal for friends to mooch off your success. It may be normal, but it isn't healthy. It's scary to end any friendship, even a bad one. But these friendships do more harm than good. These people may pacify your lonely feelings in the moment, but you'll be even lonelier in the long run. Do you know someone who clings to the wrong friends? This person may be a genius who's scared of being alone. Number 5, the intellectual barrier. Geniuses have a hard time explaining themselves because few people think the way they do. When talking to others, this can be incredibly frustrating. A genius may explain themselves 30 different ways, but every time they're met with awkward silence and a blank stare. Geniuses conceive concepts in ways that other people just can't understand. It's not a matter of complexity or education. A genius may explain themselves as clearly as they can, but the other person's mind just doesn't work that way. It's almost like you're speaking another language. Imagine talking in French to a group of English speakers. No matter how long you talk, your audience will not understand you. There's a language barrier that no amount of communication will cross. Many geniuses encounter a similar barrier. Instead of a language barrier, this is an intellectual barrier. Let's say a genius has an IQ of 160. They're talking to someone with an IQ of 90. This creates a large intellectual barrier between these two people. And that barrier makes communication almost impossible. This experience is commonplace for a genius. They want to express an idea, but their audience doesn't understand, and that can be very lonely. Number 6. Deeper connections. Just think of a satisfying experience. You accomplish a goal, you help another person, you spend quality time with your loved ones. For most, these are moments of pride and fulfillment, but a genius needs something more. A genius isn't satisfied by normal interactions. They want to reinvent the way things are done. They want to discover or transform something every chance they get. Anything less is boring. Geniuses rarely find other people who share their ambitions. Most people aren't capable of these deeper transformations. They don't want to reinvent the wheel, but geniuses do. That's why geniuses feel lonely in their pursuit of change. If you know someone who's constantly chasing something more, they may be a lonely genius. Number 7. The unhappiness of knowing. Ignorance can be a blessing in disguise. Just imagine this situation. Your doctor tells you that you're going to die in the next 24 hours. It could be 5 minutes from now, it could be 23 hours from now. You just don't know, but you spend the next day wondering when it's going to happen. In this case, knowledge is torture. Because you know you're going to die, you spend the whole day panicking. If you didn't know anything, you'd live this day like any other, happy and unaware. The same can be said for geniuses. They're constantly in pursuit of new knowledge, but that knowledge often backfires. Yeah, they understand more about the world around them. Yeah, they can make connections that few other people understand. But to make those connections, they sacrifice their peace of mind, their sense of fulfillment, maybe even their happiness. And the worst part is, no one really understands why a genius is unhappy. The rest of the world is blissfully unaware, but not all geniuses can ignore the truth. It's an intellectual burden, and that burden is hard to carry on your own. Number 8. The bias blind spot. Intelligent people identify mistakes in the world around them, but what about their own failures? Lonely geniuses have a bias blind spot. They're unable to recognize their own flaws, so they never learn and they never grow. That stagnancy may be the root cause of their loneliness. A lonely genius may blame the world for their solitude. They think society doesn't like or understand them. But the truth is, they've been sabotaging themselves. They blame the world for this misunderstanding, but most geniuses misunderstand their own issues. If you know a lonely genius, listen to the way they criticize other people. They may condemn their failures without recognizing their own. Number 9. Disconnected experiences. Shared experiences bring people together. All right, let's say you and a stranger work in the same office. You now share a unique experience with that person. You can laugh and tell stories about your job. That person will understand what you're talking about because you have something in common. Geniuses struggle to share their experiences. On a basic level, they perceive experiences differently. They notice and latch on to different things than most people. In broader terms, the experiences of a genius may be unusual or unique. They spend their time doing things no one else understands. Their passions and careers fly over most people's heads, and to the rest of the world, their experiences are completely unrelatable. Without experiences to share, geniuses may feel isolated. Number 10. Prideful privacy. Pride is a tricky thing for a genius. A stranger may view you as a remarkable individual. They think you've accomplished plenty in your life, but a genius views themselves very differently. Let's say a lonely genius writes a book. To the average observer, this is an amazing accomplishment, but a genius doesn't feel proud of their work. There are thousands of other authors in the world. A genius isn't satisfied with something others have done before. They want to do something new, something innovative, something truly extraordinary. Even then, a genius won't be satisfied. They'll continue to push and push until they've surpassed everyone in their field. Few people understand this craving for innovation. Most people feel proud just doing something they love. They're proud to be happy with their life. But geniuses are not most people. That's why lonely geniuses keep their projects to themselves. They're modest and private because there's much more they want to accomplish. Even if other people are impressed, they are never satisfied. Hey, thank you for watching Top Think, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.